Hello, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, August 26, 2013, the last week of August. It's also a national holiday in the United Kingdom. There is not a terribly large amount of news today, but we will cover the three items we've selected. Investigators at Lloyd's of London are reviewing the controls used by their 50-some-odd syndicates to prevent them from breaking sanctions with countries such as Iran and North Korea. Regulators are becoming more concerned about potential breaches at some of the syndicates. The review began about 2 months ago. The final report is due next year. Investigators are looking at what some have called what could be an Achilles heel in the insurance industry. American regulators, especially Benjamin Lawsky in New York State, have been very concerned that insurers could be either deliberately or inadvertently providing services to business and people, either directly or indirectly, in either Iran or North Korea, both the subject of international sanctions. The syndicates ensure that all the risks they underwrite are in fact compliant with sanction rules. However, under new pressure to find new sources of revenue amid the economic slowdown, there's a concern that some of the risks they've been taking on have not perhaps been adequately vetted. Many Lloyd's members have no U.S.-based businesses, thus their operations are entirely regulated in the United Kingdom. The American regulators have very little reach into the United Kingdom-specific companies. However, the British have agreed to honor the sanctions as well. So this could be something that might end up being a problem. The Lloyd's review is currently being conducted by its own internal regulatory affairs team. It's being led by a senior market manager named Andrew Ragg. The review is not targeting any individual syndicate, and it's understood to have followed an earlier survey by Lloyd's of its own managing agents that raised questions about the adequacy of its own current anti-sanctions review process. That huge fire out in Yosemite National Park in California continues to rage out of control. It's now consumed approximately 225 square miles. It's moving toward a reservoir called the Hetchy Reservoir, which is of note because the reservoir, in fact, includes the O'Shaughnessy Dam, which produces electrical power for the San Francisco Bay Area and the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission. If that dam is in fact imperiled, the power supply to San Francisco could in fact be imperiled. The San Francisco Utilities Commission has been forced to shut down 2 of its 3 hydroelectric power stations already. If the third one goes down, it's likely to present a major electrical outage problem as well as water. The governor of California, Jerry Brown, has extended a state of emergency now to include San Francisco, even though it's 100-some-odd miles away from the fire, simply because of the potential danger that could be involved here. The fire is moving completely out of control. It's approximately 5% contained right now. There are over 280 full-time firefighters that are on the scene. Fortunately, there have been no loss of life. However, the fire is moving very quickly. Apparently, it's consuming the treetops and is thus able to move with great rapidity throughout the forest. Over the weekend, the New York Times and Wall Street Journal had headline articles about conversation between President Obama and British Prime Minister David Cameron, in which the two apparently reached a consensus that, in fact, military force would be required against Syria if, in fact, it was proven that chemical weapons were used. Both leaders indicated they would rely on the United Nations, which already has a team on the ground right now to review other chemical weapons allegations. The UN team is to go ahead and review the latest allegations. On Sunday, the Syrian government gave approval for the UN team to move to the area where the chemical weapons were apparently used last week. Just this morning, a convoy left the UN compound but was immediately fired upon by snipers. Predictably, both sides, the Syrian army and the Syrian rebel groups, blamed each other for shooting at the UN team. The UN team immediately retreated to its compound and is now leaving again, having replaced the vehicle which was heavily damaged. there should be some resolution sometime soon. If they can find any evidence whatsoever, there may be a next step in this, which in fact could make things much more convoluted. We'll keep our eye on the news. It's probably going to be a slow day, but when we're back on tomorrow, the UK will have been back at work, so I'm sure we'll be back in the swing of things. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.